All right, YouTube. Repo Man 64. I am stopped for all you that worry about me driving and talking. This morning, I wake up like I do every morning, and I turn on the television to YouTube so I can see who's come out with a new video. And Ministry Revealed has a video out. I think it's Alan. Mike's with Interrupts 165. Yeah, Alan. And he's put something about an hour in. You can go watch it for yourself about the way the sun travels through the seasons, through the year. And I was like, I've never seen that before. So I went to work, and this is what I found, and I wanted to show you. It's pretty cool. As you know, this is the Enoch timeline. Everything I do, I assign it to the Enoch day of the on the calendar. I've gone to the Gregorian calendar, and I use the Enoch calendar to go through everything. And amazingly enough, as I do that, it lines up perfectly with the dates that are given in the Bible. So that's the second part. That's the first part. This is Jesus on the cross and resurrection, Thomas in the upper room, second Passover, and Pentecost. So, winter solstice day. On my YouTube, on my Facebook, for many years, I've always made a comment. For some reason, Happy Winter Solstice Day. It's the day that I prefer the long days and the summers than I do the winters. And I've always put on there Happy Winter Solstice Day. Never really thought about why I did that. This is from Ministry Revealed. I took a picture of his screenshot of his thing. I want you to notice that this is the way the sun travels. At the lowest point down there where he has a circle, that is December the 21st. That is where the sun stops getting further away from us. Or, I'm sorry, the earth. My apologies. The earth stops spinning the way it spins and then starts spinning back in the other direction. I don't have my globe in here so I could show you, but the earth spins on an axis and it wobbles, and it does that on purpose. God set it up that way so that we would have our seasons. So we're down here with the little circle, okay? It looks a whole lot like an infinity to me, which I thought was pretty cool, how the sun takes that path right there. Okay, so I went online and I printed it out, and the day of equal parts, the day that Enoch says he starts his year, and then the time Enoch started the year back in his time before the flood. Now it starts on March 17th. Back before the flood, it actually started on September the 26th. If you'll notice, it's exactly straight across. Nothing's changed. It's exactly straight across. Okay, so I start adding information from my timeline onto this, and the longest day, of course, is June 21st. Come over here. It's if you add Jesus's and Enoch's and John the Baptist's birth and conception to and remember this. Where did I put that at? I'm not going to find it now. Right there. This is where I started building a new timeline. Not a new timeline, but just one specifically for when these three were born and when they were conceived. And remember, the Bible starts life at conception. The conception day, and that's why they made such a big deal out of it with Mary, is today you will be with child. And we look and we see that day would have been the Festival of Lights. And did you know that when a woman conceives, that very moment, there's an electrical storm that goes on inside of that egg? And so I thought that was pretty cool. So Jesus is conceived on December the 7th, the first day of the Festival of Lights. According to Enoch, December the 7th is when that began. 8 days later would have been December the 15th, and 14 days later would have been the shortest day of the year, December 21st, which I can show that Enoch was born on that day. Come back here, and Jesus was born 182 days later. I'm sorry. No, that would have been the 182nd day of the year. 282 days later, Jesus was born on the Enoch calendar, the first day of the Enoch calendar, which would have been September 15th. Remember, September 26th is the day of equal parts, but there's this 10-day gap, and for the longest time, I worried about that 10 days, and I worried about it all the way up until we realized Noah was on the ark for 1 year and 10 days. There's those 10 days. That's where it makes up the 10 days from. So Jesus is born on Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Booths, Feast of Trumpets. That's the day he's born. Yom Kippur, like Dr. Barry says, Yom Kippur was, I believe, these are the 10 days of awe up to the end of Yom Kippur, which also ends on the day of equal parts. Now, I looked at this and I'm like, so John, his conception, there's no events. There's nothing on my timeline. Nothing that shows, that comes up. Let me go back here and I'll show you. Is it going to do it? There it goes. Let's see, right here. September the 8th. There's literally nothing in there. Wait, is that right? Hold on a second. I got myself mixed up. Let me take a look at this. June the 8th. Let me go back to June the 8th. I chose the wrong one here. Let me get it right so I can show you right here. Okay, we go over here to June the 16th. June the 8th, nothing happens after Pentecost. It's like a dead space. Nothing happens. What's going on in here between this period of time? There's a lot of stuff that didn't happen. There's a lot of stuff didn't happen during that period of time. Here's my Enoch count. I showed you that before, how I get to the correct days, and I start the year on March the 17th here. So, what's going on? Why is there nothing going on during this period of time? And then I noticed, look at the 8. It's the infinity. That's when John was conceived, right there. Okay, and we go back here. John was actually born also on March 17th, the day of equal parts, the first day of the year, the same day that Enoch was conceived. Enoch was conceived on March 17th. Enoch is the one that conceived of this. I would say he didn't conceive of it, but through him, we can see that the first day of the year is March 17th. Every year, it doesn't bounce, it doesn't move, it doesn't care about anything else. It never changes. Like I've always said, the sun and the earth doesn't move, and we are not, in my opinion. Now, according to Enoch, now I'm not trying to go in and say everybody's wrong and I'm right. I've never done that. I could be completely off base using Enoch, but the guy is the seventh from Adam. He was taken, it records in the book of Enoch that he was taken to the seventh heaven and able to gaze upon the 10th heaven. There's 10 levels to heaven. Even Enoch couldn't go in to the 10th heaven. He went to the seventh heaven. Our highest hope, according to 2 Corinthians, I think it's 12, is the third heaven. Hey, heaven's heaven to me, that's awesome. It's like an apartment building. I can't afford the penthouse, but I'm still in the building, So it's all working out, and every time I find something like this, I am amazed, and then I apply it. So here's John. This is where Alan was talking about on Ministry Revealed. He found this passage. John says, John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven. Ye yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but that I am sent before him. He that hath, so now John here is stating that he's the one sent to pave the way for Jesus and show everything, and we come to that June 8th, the 8 being the infinity, and then finally at the December the 31st when Enoch is born, we come to the bottom of that, the shortest day of the year. I thought it worked out so cool. I am not the Christ, but that I am sent before him. He that hath the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoice greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This is my joy, therefore is fulfilled. This my joy, therefore is fulfilled. He must increase, I must decrease. So go back and watch Ministry Revealed, because I worked this thing out and I put all this thing on here. The decrease ends on December the 21st at 10:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can do the math yourself. How far away you are from Eastern Standard Time. If you're in California, it's 7:58. If you go the other way towards Israel, it would be what would that be? 10:58 a.m. would be 7. No, it would be 5:58 p.m. in Israel. So you can do your math there. At that very moment, the sun's our Earth wobble allows the sun to start moving its way back up. It's slow at first, and then it's very rapid, and then it goes back up to the top. I applied everything I found on the graph, or I put on the graph, to this. Number one, Jesus. He's conceived on the Hanukkah Festival of Lights, December the 10th. No, I'm sorry. Is that December? It should be December the 7th, and then December the 10th is when the flood ended, 5 days apart. Now, I found something else, and I spoke with Matt at Wackadoodle Samoan, and I said, isn't it interesting that if you take December 21st as Rapture Day, if that is the day it happens, and you shorten the time, let's say we were supposed to go to March 14th. If we were supposed to go to March 14th, but we leave on December the 21st, the time is cut short by exactly 5 months, minus the 1 week. The 1 week difference that we have, that we find all over. Let me see. I thought it was 10 days. It must be 10 days. March 14th. Yeah, that would be 7 days. I had told him. I'm trying to remember. I'll remember in a minute what those 7 days represented. Those 7 days represent. It's eluding me right now. It's killing me. I'll remember it in a minute. I told Matt and I forgot it. But anyway, if we go on December the 21st at 10:58 a.m. and we go up here, you can see that Noah leaves the ark on November the 10th. 1 year and 10 days later, the flood actually began on October the 31st. There is a day at a time, because this is a 365 and a quarter day count. The Enoch calendar has 364 days, so there's a day at a time that exists right in here, which is why you see this gap right here. It'll happen every single year. It makes up for the time. Jesus was born on Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Booths, Feast of Trumpets, right here on September the 15th. That's the second Passover. Pentecost. Jesus was conceived on, John was conceived on June the 8th. You got the infinity again. So the longest day is the 21st, and you got Tisha B'Av, Tu B'Av. And notice how most of the events are happening that were super important right here around the center of the, you can almost draw a circle around this area and get most of the events that are taking place in there. That was me working on it. Okay, I think I got through all of that. This is from the Jewish calendar on how everything starts. You can see here March 15th would be the first day of the year, which would be Nisan 1. The line points right to the 1 in Nisan from March 15th. So it's halfway through. Actually, it's right there between Adar and Nisan. It points to March 15th. So it goes all. This is offset by about 2 weeks from their calendar, and every year they change it. I want you to notice this. Somebody asked me in my comment section, why am I looking at this date of March 17th? Here's why. March 16th, March 17th being the first day, is a day of equal parts. You can see right there, 12 hours and 46 seconds. Slightly before that, March 16th. That is the day of equal parts. That's the day that has the same amount of daylight and the same amount of twilight on the same day. That's the one date that it does that every year. March 17th would be the first day of the year. Here, it does it again as well on September the 26th. You can see September up here in the upper left corner. And same thing happens. 12 hours exactly, September the 26th. So when you go back to this infinity thing here, you can see how it runs from September the 26th right here, straight across to March 17th. So that's why when God said, this now will be the first day of your year, telling Moses that that's the first day, this used to be the first day, September 26th. That used to be the first day. So anyway, a whole bunch of information there. I'm still working on it, and maybe you can put in the comment section something that you notice or see, dates that we find in the Bible. I love to apply them into the Enoch timeline. Mine's kind of messy, so I'm going to go back in and redo it and straighten it all up, my timeline as to when everything happened. And so we get a clearer picture. I like that infinity. I did not know that about the sun, how it did that. And when you apply everything, it just all sits right in front of you. You can see everything. So anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and go to a quiet place by yourself. Nobody needs to know, and you don't need to tell anybody. And accept the Lord into your heart. We're running out of time. Oh, May 14th, 1948. December 21st, so 7 days. And I had that. I can't for the life of me remember what those 7 days represented. Oh, I remembered. The flood was supposed to start on 7 days earlier than what it did. It didn't, because Methuselah asked God, can you please take me before the flood so that I might not be counted amongst the wicked. And so Methuselah died and was taken, and they mourned him for 7 days. So there's a 7-day period of mourning that will be going on, or maybe a warning that will be going on before December 21st. We're already into the 7 days, and we're actually about 3 days away? A little bit less than 3 days away, so maybe there's a warning that's coming our way. We've seen a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of crazy stuff going on, greed and everything else in our in the higher ups in office and government and everything. So anyway, keep looking, keep trying to figure it out. I don't stop. You got to keep looking. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. For all you who think that we're not supposed to be watching for dates, what are we supposed to be watching for then? I don't even know what we'd be watching for if we weren't trying to figure this out. This is what we're supposed to do. We're shaking that present, trying to figure out what's inside of it. So Ken Potter had a really good video again today. He's got this new series out called My 2 Cents. So go watch that as well. So anyway, RepoMen64, we'll chat with you later.